I have a bone to pick with you.
Oh, you have a bone?
Yeah, because we've been saying
Ando can never win.
this podcast has been saying that Fonseca was not the coach for the AC Milan, and you were the one who defended always Fonseca. He will eat the panettone, he will eat the Easter egg, he will eat, and he will win the championship. Did you say that? Did you say that he will win the championship?
I did, and I stand by to what I said.
Yeah?
Okay? Fonseca was not a problem.
You think that if Fonseca was in Riyadh, he will win this cup?
That's right. And you will never find out because it's over already.
Oh my God!
That's right.
You're living in La La Land. You
I
know
do.
that?
I love La La Land. I love La La Land, man. That's my land.
Come on,
La La Land is my land.
Come on, let's be. This is the one time we gotta be nice.
Oh yeah. Don't cut this off.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
No. How you feel? You feel?
Oh, I love it. I love
You're
it.
good.
The way we won.
Uh-huh.
It makes it. It was sweet already, but winning away, winning in front of a big sellout crowd of mostly AC Milan fans in Riyadh, and winning against Inter for the second time during the season. Well, last year and then already on the new year, it's like, how better can you get? You cannot get any better than that.
It was pretty good.
And then being down 2-0 and coming back from 2-0 into a 3-2.
And scoring late.
Oh, and look at that Inzaghi's face. That was the cherry on the cake. That was the cherry on the cake.
How much of this win do you give it to Conceicao?
I would say 5%.
Wow.
Wait.
What is it, the water boy?
Wait, 5?
5%. Yes.
5% you give
Because
it to
the
Conceicao.
same player, Fonseca added the same player. Pretty much didn't change much of the formation. He's been using, Conceicao has been that smart to read into the game because Fonseca is capable to change the formation while the game is going on. You go from a 4-2-3-1, you go into a 4-2-4, and then 4-4-2. He's capable of doing that. Fonseca did it already. Conceicao, all he had to do, he did very well. I gotta be honest with you. Maybe I'll give him 15%. He changed the players at the right time.
Let me ask you something.
I like that.
Did Fonseca ever break any TV in the locker room?
No. What, you need to break TV?
Show him what
I
they did.
know, but what about Thiago Motta? Did he ever break any TV?
We're not talking about Thiago
How
Motta
are
right
we
now.
talking about Fonseca and
I know.
Thiago Motta now? They should be praising how amazing Milan were.
Fonseca was actually praised by the very same people that he was quote unquote criticizing and trying to discipline. Even Theo Hernandez said,
Guys,
it was not,
everything you guys want to
Fonseca.
say, all you have to do is listen to the players. Listen to the players and look at the way that they've responded.
What
to
did the
Conceicao.
players say? What did the Theo say about Fonseca?
Every single player, Leao, Theo Hernandez, they all say the energy, the attitude, the spirit that Conceicao has brought. And it's kind of like Fonseca has tried to be maybe the friends of some of the players, and he's been a sergeant. He's been on top of them. I mean, I was watching him for the entire game. He's a madman on the sideline. He thinks that he's playing at some point. When there's a tackle, he's like almost making the movements to go in. When there's a fight on the other side of the pitch, he's about to start running before his team stops him. So I think that is exactly what this Milan side needed. And this win shows that Milan has the capabilities to do much better than what they're doing all season. They got the talent.
Yes, I do. I mean,
But how can you give Conceicao 5%? That's what I don't understand about you.
Listen, anytime you have a change of coach, all the players that you have already in place, they have enough to prove themselves over and over because everybody's under the public eyes of what's going on. But you have to try to impress the coach, and you have to try to do what the coach is asking you to do from the very beginning, because no one on AC Milan has a place carved into the formation. So at any time, anybody can be subbed or can be sat on the bench, whether you are Leao, whether you are Theo Hernandez, or whether you are Pulisic or anybody. So at this point of the time, I mean, he had no time to prepare the game. So it went well for him. We beat Juventus coming back from 1-0, and we beat Inter coming back from 2-0. So we had a little bit of luck, but nevertheless, I actually applaud him just that motivation that he has given to the player. But as far as we know what we have, this team has been built to win. Okay, the fact that they were not performing, there are so many other factors that they surround the team and the squad that we have no control of it, and that not even Fonseca had control. He tried to motivate them by sit them down, by just trying to discipline them, and I guess it didn't work. This guy here, maybe it's a new face. He's got like Marco said, it's like this guy looks like Conte, like a mad dog Conte
like
from
you
the
said,
sideline.
the players are there. You got the talent,
Yeah.
but a coach has to motivate them. Some players, even though they are, world class, they have to be motivated. And I guess Fonseca was not able to, and Conceicao did. So I don't think he deserves 5%.
But to be honest with you, Marco, to
Even
finish,
if he
let's
says that,
finish
Fire,
this.
let's not harp on that, because then the conversation becomes too much about that. I think even besides the motivation, Zlatan said it as well. He said Fonseca brought us a possession-based football, and that's not what this team needed. They're a little bit more direct. It's not to say that Milan looked perfect. I think we could pick apart some of the things that Milan did wrong, but it's the attitude to come back in 2 games and to win a trophy. And now, how much that's going to help propel your season going forward. The financial side, you get 9.5 million euros from winning this trophy. That's what Milan receives. But I think it's the belief and the confidence that will trickle over for the club and where you got to go, because you have to get into Champions League football, and you're still alive in Champions League as well, and you never know what's going to happen. Shall we keep going down let's keep going down the Milan side, and then we can switch to Inter. What did you think about Milan, Pete?
I think Milan was a tale of two halves. I think the first half, it was a very cautious approach, and that's also on Inter's side. And then in the second half, I think, as Gaetano alluded to, Conceicao woke this team up. And I think, and we'll get to it, Inter's mishaps, Inter's injuries, and it's the truth. And the fact that we can't score in front of goal led Milan to be back into this game. And even, not to bring up Inter, but Lautaro, Barella, they all said the same thing. We stopped, pushing the pedal to the metal. This Inter team needs to be able to close the matches way before. And, I give credit to Milan. I think Conceicao was a major catalyst to this victory, more so because of the energy that he gave to his players. And the response that you saw in the second half showed that this Milan team understood the necessity for their fans, but also for them to win this cup. And that's what ultimately led them to win. Whether, it's because of others' mistakes or because of their ability to go forward. And obviously Leao was major. So, like, the 2 players that had a lot of issues with Fonseca turned up this game. And we all know when they're on, it's a scary duo on that side.
And they've all praised Conceicao.
Exactly. So, hats off to that. My only thing I would say with Milan is, the celebration, the management. It's easy when things are going good and you show your face and you have a speech in the locker room with the videos, looking at you and seeing you and doing the dance when everything is going well. But let's not forget 2 weeks ago, or whatever it was, when AC Milan had the 125th anniversary, La Dirigenza went around the side door to not face I tifosi. And that's where true leadership shows. So there's still a long, long way to go, number one. You had a good 3-4 days in Riyadh. And let's see what happens.
Peter had this rehearsed. He was doing this in the mirror all morning. He had that ready.
I got news for you.
God.
Good try, but it's not working. It's not working. Guess what, Paisan? Let me just... Breaking news. Inter 2, AC Milan 3. Bang, bang, bang. 3 times. 3 times. And guess who did it? Against Juventus was Captain America and Musa, all made in USA. And now, yesterday, it was Captain America, and it was
Tommy,
and it was Theo. It's like an international cocktail.
Yeah, actually, the first time in history.
All right, Mike.
First time in history, now one Italian on the starting 11 for AC Milan.
So,
Listen.
all right.
International cocktail is right.
Why don't we talk about Pulisic? Because I thought he was fantastic.
Phenomenal.
The amount of times that I've watched the replay of the ball that he plays in to Leao, who then gives it to Tammy to score the winner, but it's the sacrifice. I was watching him in the 87th minute, running back towards the right back position to win a stupid foul, but puts his body in the way. And it's those little things that he does on defense that I think make him. It's everything that he brings to Milan. It's not just what he does going forward. It's that attitude. It's that spirit. It's the leadership. He doesn't wear the captain's armband, but I would argue that he's been a better captain than a lot of the players on Milan so far this year. With his head down, not saying that much, just putting it on the pitch. For me, Pulisic was the one that stood out light years above everybody else yesterday.
And for the first time, I saw Leao chasing after Bissek, who was on the right fullback, and he was by the goalkeeper. All of a sudden, he starts running and chasing and tackling. I never saw that done before.
Well,
So-
it's been told. So I guess
Been
when
told.
Fonseca told
Everybody
him,
tells him.
when
Every
Fonseca,
coach tells him.
when Fonseca told him another Portuguese, he didn't understand Portuguese to
Oh.
Dialect,
Portuguese.
the
Maybe a
dialect.
different
maybe.
So
dialect.
maybe it was the dialect, or maybe it was the the tone that was not nasty enough. So maybe Conceicao is demanding. Conceicao is probably a little bit like with a knife.
Or maybe
It's-
they
were-
it's-
maybe they
this
were
is
like-
what I need. This is what I need you
Hammer.
to do.
Maybe
Hammer.
maybe they were tired of Fonseca, and this was a breath of fresh air for Milan. And I feel like this is what they need to now fight to go to a Champions League spot. Now I think they could do it with this.
I think that's clear, right? I think Mike's right. The way that everybody's talking about him, it just shows the confusion that was within the squad before, how there were probably cliques on who got along with him, who didn't get along with him, and you needed somebody that was going to lay down the law. Now, we'll go to Inter in a second. I just want to put one pushback to Milan because a lot of the things that were said about Conceicao were, maybe he's going to play a little bit more contained, a little bit further back. But I saw a team that played a high line, and Milan's defense was all over the place in the first half. I was watching the line the entire time. There was mass confusion. Jimenez would drop back to the right back position to help Emerson Royal, and he would slot in. So there's almost 5 guys on the line. And Inter were doing whatever they wanted. The ball over the top, whether it was Barella making the run, or Taremi, or Lautaro, or
Di Marco with a big shot.
Di Marco makes these inverted runs through. They couldn't deal with them. It was Inter that was not doing good enough to take advantage of those moments because, again, and this is just one thing that they need to improve upon, the defense looked all over the place, especially in the first half. I thought Inter could have taken advantage of it more, and then they get the goal right before the half ends. But prior to that, there were so many ways that they could have hurt them, and whether that's they missed Thuram's speed, maybe that's what you'll argue, or whatever it was, I think Milan didn't do a good enough job defensively, but nevertheless, credit to them. Let's switch to the Inter perspective, because coming into this, obviously you guys had 6 wins in a row in the Derby before the win of Milan. You were still heavily favored. Everybody said, it needs to be something crazy to happen for Milan to be able to win this game. You're missing.
I remember that.
You're missing a couple good players.
You remember that
Hakan goes out injured as well. And once that happened, I'll be honest with you, that's when I started to believe that Milan was going to be able to do something. Where do you think it went wrong? Or do you just chalk it up to it's a final and Milan were highly motivated and you made few mistakes?
No, I think, obviously Milan were highly motivated. This meant a lot to them. And whenever you change the coach, there is this instant burst of energy in a season. And obviously we'll see how it goes from here on out. But when it came to Inter, Thuram is a big miss for us because is really the only player that gives us depth with speed and being able to be able to attack the space. We don't have that type of player except for Buchanan, who hardly sees the field. Then when it comes to the injuries, Çalhanoğlu, when he's out of the game, we do not have a regista that can make this team move the way he does. And obviously, he's world class. I think he's one of the top registas out there and spreading the ball and making something out of nothing. And even his defensive rate, we saw his willingness to go and win a ball back. So once he went out, Asllani, I was really surprised by Inzaghi and putting in Asllani.
What do you think he was going to do?
I thought maybe Zielinski, just because Asllani hasn't been able to do much for Inter in this time. And I think if, to be fair or being honest, I think he's done after this year and after this performance. It shows that he's not ready. He
hasn't broken out.
He hasn't done, they say the salto di qualità. He's lacking it. And maybe he needs more playing time. Maybe he needs somewhere else. He's just not of the level of where the Inter midfield needs him to be. So with that, then let's not forget, Acerbi, Pavard out before. De Vrij gets injured. Di Marco can't play 90 minutes. So there was a lot of movement within that defensive line that Bisek changed position 3 times. From right center back, left center back, and then center back in the 3. So, ultimately, these changes in the defense, you usually don't want to change the defense, throughout the game, and only if
you've been playing with a makeshift defense a couple times already, and you were doing well. I think you had 5 wins in a row without conceding a goal leading up to this point.
But still, when you're versing a Milan, they have the caliber of the player that can make something happen. Yeah, but Atalanta, we have their number. So I don't, with Atalanta, with Gasperini Inzaghi, for some reason, Gasperini can match up with Inzaghi.
But you're saying that defensively. I mean, Atalanta's got the most goals.
Yes, but again, the matchup. That's what you have to look at. The matchup. I think with Milan, it's scarier because of Leao, because of Morata that's always moving. There's a lot of components that the Milan team bring that Inter struggle with because we don't have the speed. And what I would say is, if you look, Inter let up the most goals in the last 15 minutes. And I think it also has to do with
in the league.
The age of the roster is one of the highest in Serie A.
30 years old.
Okay? So, these are things that not necessarily worrying signs. I think, we slipped up this game. Sommer, obviously, on that first near post, you got to do better. I'm sorry. On Theo's free kick, I don't know if it was Lautaro that blocked his vision. But you cannot get beat on your first post, on your near post. And, obviously the third goal, he came out kind of lost. And ultimately we got bit in the butt in the 90th minute. Because if it goes to the penalties, you never know what could happen.
A couple of things about Inter. Okay, so you make... Conceicao he brings Leao into the game, which he changed the game. Mm-hmm. And what did Inzaghi do? Inzaghi didn't do anything. I mean, you bring in a guy, and this guy, he started from the first moment that he went in, he was trouble. Bring in Darmian. Bring somebody to take on this guy. I never liked the 3 people in the back, the 3 men in the back when you got somebody really fast. I think that destroys the defense. It works. Yeah, it could work. It's been working. But I think Inzaghi did not read the game well. Conceicao did. He came out. He made the right substitution. But Inzaghi did not do anything. I ask you a question. Do you think that Inzaghi is driving a Ferrari? He's got a car that is you can drive 300 miles an hour, but he makes him drive at 150 miles an hour, and then he stops. It's you said it. 2-0, you stop playing.
Yeah,
speed limit.
Well, listen, I think with Inzaghi, he's too calculated. That's always been my thing when it comes to the substitutions. Always got a yellow card. He can't play. For games in Champions League, I said it, we're going to get bit in the butt, and we did versus Bayern Leverkusen because you want to play a 0-0 game or try to break on the counter. So I do get upset oftentimes at his management sometimes and his ability to read the game.
Can Fratesi not play more than 10 minutes?
And I felt Fratesi would have been better suited in this game than Zielinski at that point. If Zielinski's not your regista, Fratesi's a bomb going forward.
That, not to say that you put Fratesi in earlier and you're going to win the game. It's not to say that. But I think Fratesi could have provided a lot more in this game than in the last. What did he get subbed in 80th minute, 82nd minute?
He should have went in for Zielinski. I think there Inzaghi's looking to keep possession, and Fratesi's more so being able to get on the transition. So
those runs in behind was what was hurting Milan, which is why I was surprised that he didn't put him.
You know what I want to question about, since we've been talking about this. Barella didn't need to be subbed. Barella, when he came out, he was screaming his guts out. I don't know who he was screaming at, but he was not ready to come out. Barella was livid.
I agree.
And Fratesi, if he can start on the Italian national team, why is getting overlooked or just, surpassed by Zielinski.
gotta
Zielinski
go.
is an excellent
Fratese's
midfielder.
got to go.
So I think that's the reasons why he's back in his own.
I don't blame him.
clinic, his
I don't
own
blame
lack
Fratese.
of
No,
Mentally.
he has to want to go out, because if you're not playing, ultimately you risk also losing the Italian national team.
That's what I
at this
said.
point. So he's gonna want. But I just want to return to what Gaetano said. When Inter have the full team, and we want to play, I think we can play with the best of them. It's when you start calculating and then when he has to make his subs. That's not Inzaghi's forte. Inzaghi's forte is the style of play, the approach to the game, and being able to understand what is expected. But when he's got to make subs on the fly, everything is calculated. Oh, 70th minute, go in. Oh, yellow card, go in. So that part, he doesn't have the Zidane effect of being able to read the game, feel what's needed, and make it happen.
I agree. Mike, what do you think Inter did wrong? Or what did you notice different?
Inter had everything in the bag, and once Inter went up 2-0, I think everyone thought, this game's over, or whatever. Anto, even you.
No,
when it was
I
2-0.
didn't say that.
Anto, I saw your
I
face.
kept my mouth shut and I said, hey.
You were like this in the sea, and when it was 2-0, you went it like this. So you looked defeated, and I don't blame you. I don't think anyone
could say it.
expected me.
By the way, I have the
come
reply
back.
to what you just said before. Finish up, Mike.
So this was a game. This was Inter's to lose. They were up 2-0. They were already the favorites. They got majority of the game done, but they let Milan back in the game. And Pete, I agree with you with he's too calculated. Sometimes as a coach, you're hired as a human being. Not all entirely it's got to be calculated statistics that Anto loves all the time. Sometimes you just got to know who to put in and who to take out. And I think that's a big part. And that's bit Inzaghi in the past a few times, and we thought that for the most part he improved, which I think he did. I think he improved as a coach overall, dramatically. But there's always gonna be times like this. If you drop your concentration, especially with a team that just got a new coach and trying to prove something, you give them one goal. You're spilling blood in a shark tank, basically.
I think the biggest factor is not losing the game, because I think anybody could lose a final. It's the fact that they lost from 2-0 down.
How it
I
happened.
think when it's
How it
2-0
happened.
and you're Inter, I think that's when you should be able to close a game, because Milan has shown that they're able to beat Inter. They did it in the past. If it's tight, like you said, in penalty kick, it's the manner in which Inter lost the game that makes you question a lot of things. The one player I'll give credit to is Lautaro Martinez. He's been under a lot of criticism for the goal scoring and missing a lot of chances. He scores for the fourth final in a row, actually, Supercoppa. But it's also, I noticed his attitude afterwards. He showed to be a good leader.
Yeah.
Afterwards, he did media for everybody, like a true captain. He put his face out there. I saw even a video of all the players coming out when they had the medal, and he was the first one there to pat them on the back and to make sure that they don't get too low from this. And that's what a captain ultimately needs to do. And I think you made a point before about Milan, and sometimes it's easy to show face when things are going well. So I just wanted to give, from what I noticed from being there, I saw Lautaro be a really good leader.
He was very gracious
to this
too with
Inter
all
side,
the
which
Milan players.
we're very good at criticizing Lautaro for not goal scoring. But we also have to give credit for his understanding to be a leader for Inter in that moment.
Let me reply to what Peter just said before, not to cut you off. But Peter keeps bringing an argument that doesn't hold any water. That AC Milan, that Inter didn't have Thuram, or they didn't have this. AC Milan didn't have Leao. We had a lot of players injured. Benacer was injured, was not playing.
Benacer's not a starter. For this team.
Who told you that?
He's not a
Since
starter for this
when?
team. He's not a starter.
He's going to be a starter coming next week.
He
He's
didn't,
right,
he didn't say
though.
that that's the only factor. It's one of the factors.
Then you guys,
Leao's out. Who
both
else?
of you are claiming technically that you pride yourself for some of the best defense of the campionato. But you got beat at your own game, and this is what I felt in Inzaghi. You got beat at your own game.
What do you mean by that?
Instead of having AC Milan pressing forward and you guys counter and just finding us all the way open and score, all of a sudden AC Milan didn't go all the way to the top. He waited for you guys. As soon as you lost the ball, you got punished. You got punished severely.
And that's Conceicao again. That did it.
Now for you, Inzaghi, the biggest brain, to get caught with your pants down. It's bad news. Bad news. Leao, he took Bissek. He looked like it was a toothpick for him. He took him and he just went around like nothing. It was like butter.
Yeah.
And then he put the ball in the middle and then boom.
Let me ask you, is Bissek a starting centre back for Inter?
It doesn't matter listen, Inter does not have a bench that it did not start it. All of the players that Inter has, they're starting in any team. Do not give me that. And stop crying about that stuff. You lost it. You lost the game. Take it graciously like everybody else did at the end of the game. And shut up. It's over.
Hey,
you
listen,
lost.
Even if you have a Ferrari, if your tire is missing air, if you need to change your oil, you can't drive very far.
Don't cry.
So you need
you
to be,
lost.
So that's been the thing also for this year. Every month we've dealt with another injury, dealt with another thing, and we're still able to win. It didn't go our way. I hope they use this as motivation for the rest of the season.
You know what I saw? One of the funniest tweets that I saw was an Inter fan that said, I can't remember who it was. It said, "Damn, how did Milan go through this 6 times, losing in a row? I can't even handle it twice."
That wasn't me.
Oh, by the way,
Because you won now 2 in a row, and they're saying it's so hard, but you lost 6 in a row prior to that.
listen, it's water under the bridge. We never look back. We're just forward minded, and we just do not like to just it's over.
Meanwhile, when it comes to Champions League, they have 7 Champions
That was then.
League. That was then.
But this
Now
is a reminder.
now.
No, they still count.
Oh, okay.
They still count. They still count. Guess what? I was surprised, to be honest with you, with how many fans AC Milan had it over there. And Marco sent me two, three little
Milan
clips
fans?
of some of my our followers, the IFTV followers, that they were asking for me. The next time, taking me to you with Riyadh. I will walk your dog. I'll do anything for you.
I had somebody screaming at
Personal
me.
servant?
Yes.
I
Yes.
had somebody screaming at me. Antonio's friend. Are you Antonio's friend?
Wow.
And then I made him record the video and I sent it to you. I had a lot of people. There was a lot more Milan fans than Inter fans.
That's
they were
right.
loud. They
Why?
were singing
Why so,
Conceicao.
Marco? Why so?
What I realized it's such a football crazy country. They love football, and it's kind of similar to here where it's more 30, 35 and older. They love Serie A of the past because that's what they grew up with. And the younger generation likes, of course, the Premier League teams and the Spanish teams, but they absolutely love their football. And they can speak to you about, Calciopoli and the past. Like, they know everything about their teams because of the passion that they have for it. So it surprised me how much they love it and how many people from around the region, like Kuwait, Bahrain, Jordan, everybody flew in to watch the game. So it was cool.
Wow.
And you know what I was thinking about too? We have, well, not Mike, but the rest of us have Italian descent. And that's how you
Mike looks
Mike
up
too. Mike
Yeah,
too.
look at him.
He has it. Yeah.
You guys have to Greek descent.
So we were passed down because of that. And they didn't have, an Italian father or grandfather, or they don't have that feeling, yet they still are so strongly attached to their team. So that was something beautiful to be able to see. And Milan is very big. Very big in that region. They're obsessed with Milan.
So, hey, by the way, those 3 guys that they came to talk to you, if you guys are listening to this podcast, you're welcome to come over here. You'll be invited to the podcast. I'm going to be chaperoning you around.
Anto's going to fly you out, Anto.
And I'm
right?
going to, yes. And
I need your credit card.
I'm looking forward to meet with those guys. Excellent guys, those Saudis. But were all Saudis or were from other?
Them 3, the ones in that
Oh,
video.
excellent.
They're all
Okay.
3 from Saudi
I
Arabia.
love those guys.
But
This is what I live for. That's what AC Milan lives for. When we cut our arms or our legs, we bleed black and red blood. So siamo rossoneri. Whether you are in the Saudis, you are in Canada, you are in the Philippines,
Alps.
you are in the Alps, you
Bari.
are in Bari. We are all AC Milan. We brothers. Okay.
Cool. It was cool to see. It was cool to see how, especially when the Milan anthem comes afterwards and they're lifting the trophy, and they were able to see their team witness something that's history. And I know the Supercoppa Italiana. You joked before saying that you don't care about it.
I never said that.
to
Never said that. Find the video. Find the video. I never said that.
But
Look at him.
afterwards, it became such an important competition, and I think Milan, rightfully so, for the financial reasons.
There's money now.
You make a lot of money from the competition, but also the momentum that it could give Milan and the way that they won. Again, 2-0 down, and they found a way, 2 games in charge, and he's got 1 trophy already. So it was a great start for him. Anything else on the game? Or shall we talk?
Yeah, something. Look at
anything
him. Look
else
at him.
that
He's
you noticed
thinking
from the
about it.
match
Say something.
that
Come
you
on.
want to bring up?
No, he said it. What what I was gonna say, but no, nothing else.
What about the referee?
What happened with the
I
referee?
didn't really notice.
Oh,
there?
I don't know.
Was there any crazy call that I didn't see?
I have no idea. They're claiming.
Oh,
they are
now all of a sudden you
claiming- now
read
they're
it
claiming
somewhere, huh?
Oh.
That there was a foul leading
Oh,
to
yeah, I
the to what Pulisic
I'm not too sure.
tying shots.
Uh-huh.
Was there a foul on who? On who?
Barella got fouled. Come on.
Barella.
The same foul that they called on Leao, they didn't call on that side.
Barella. Aren't you ashamed even making a suggestion like that? Asking Gaetano what about the referee?
No, because he looked like he was looking for something.
He was looking for
That's
something.
the
What about
referee.
that? So yeah,
Because he has his opinion on VAR.
typical Inter
It's a
fan.
good
No,
time.
the only thing that I was gonna
Typical
say,
Inter fan. Real
Which is not,
Patsy D.
which is not about the game, is that if you don't do well against Cagliari, you're going to be shipped out to Riyadh again.
You should play your home games there.
Yeah, you better do well against Cagliari.
Play your home games there.
Okay,
Uh,
don't worry,
the
don't
next
worry,
game.
brother.
So I want to see, I want to see this grinta that they had
That's right.
in that game, and what they did in that game. I want to see it.
You're right. You're right.
on the next
0-0
game.
draw.
Yeah. And then Conceicao going to do a la Fonseca. It's tougher to play against
Oh my God.
Cagliari than it is to play in a final.
You know what the funniest part is? That we beat Thiago Motta, so his time is
No,
over.
the funniest
so
thing
he got
was,
his butt kicked, and then we beat that vicious bastard of
Limone.
Inzaghi, Simone Limone. It's so sour, that guy. He was screaming at Di Marco, almost scored on a spectacular shot coming from the left. When boom, Magnan made a miracle saving that thing. And then this son of a gun from the sideline, he was saying to Di Marco, he was screaming at him, like, Dima, something like that, right? I said, what the hell do you want more?
Isn't that good?
No, it's not. You're supposed to say, good job. That's it.
That's what
the guy
Fonseca
was
did.
screaming at him.
Since you're in such a good mood, why don't you do the ad for our
Oh, guys, listen to
our
me.
shirts.
We still have some few
still-
left. Hurry up.
I think the white ones are.
The white one
blue
is
one.
White
almost,
one
need to push the
almost
blue
done.
one.
Almost
Very
done.
few. Blue, we got a few left.
To all my Saudis friends, few left. Just get it, okay? And if you want, I will actually autograph for you the inside, not the outside. And I will just personally.
We're trying to
make-
drive sales,
Yeah, we
not
can't
lose
do that
sales.
now.
What are you gonna? Oh, I have a lot of friends. The Saudis are my friends. So anyway, get it and don't blame us. This is top of the line material, design, and it's Italy. Okay,
Italian
And it's
football TV.com.
Italian football TV, and it's calcio merchandising.
Official.
Anything else that we have to say? Where do you find the merchandise? At the bottom of the description. It's at the description, right? Do the
Well, what's the code? What's the code?
the little square over there, the QR code.
How did you remember?
That's right. You see. Got it.
Highway Bagels.
Highway
find
Bagel
out Highway
too.
Bagels?
I was still can
There
they
was
still
never
vote for Highway
competition.
Bagel?
There was never competition.
All right.
The rumor is right now that Milan want to sign Rashford. Manchester United don't want him. This has been pretty clear. Sky Italia says that Milan offered a loan with option to buy. He's still waiting to see what other offers come in. He's going to evaluate. I think Dortmund was one of the teams. He's got to leave Manchester United. He's been outcasted by Amorim. We know that. Do you want him at Milan?
I found difficult to find a place for him. What are you going to do with Morata? Morata is still our line in the middle of the box over there. Whether he's been scoring a lot, hasn't been scoring, has been productive. But Morata is a top player. What are you going to do with Morata? Well, what are you going to be using Rashford? Where you going to place him? Where you
He
going to
usually
plug
starts
him?
on the left side, but obviously he can't start on the left side at Milan. Maybe he could play like the 9, like you're saying. He's played the 9 in the past.
But then what? You just you drop a Morata just behind him?
Well, you played with Abraham and Morata.
Wait a moment.
So you're saying play with Rashford and Morata.
Yeah, you played with two forwards.
But you put
You
the
won
Rashford
the-
behind Morata,
You won
Rashford in front
you
of
won
Morata.
the game with a 4-4-2. With the,
No,
when
we didn't
Abraham-
play that style. We played the 4-2-3-1, but
But when
with
Abraham
Morata-
went in, you had to
Yeah,
Morata.
yeah, they've done it
and
before.
but
Abraham.
They've
Morata
done it
behind
before.
Abraham. Abraham was right in front of
Yeah,
him.
so you could always put Rashford there.
Rashford, good there. The problem with Rashford is a talented player. The problem with Rashford is not consistent.
How old is he, Mike?
Yeah, he's got talent. Would you give it for Okafor?
27.
Would you trade him for Okafor?
Not really. I don't think
Then-
we gained him that much.
Manchester United are not taking Okafor.
What are you kidding
Sorry
me?
to tell you guys that.
Hey, he's not trading him.
27.
27? Oh,
yeah.
it's
He's
not
not
that
trading
old.
him.
He's young. He's young.
I don't know. Maybe Marco. Why he's not playing?
He's got problems.
Is
with
he
the coach.
injured?
No,
Oh,
no,
just-
he's got problems with the coach. Yeah, it's kind of in a lot of ways like with Theo Hernandez, how sometimes he got benched or Leao got benched at times. He's had this maybe motivation problem or lack of professionalism. I think he's a crazy talented player, and sometimes a player needs a different environment and needs a different coach to pull on the strings. So maybe if Conceicao really believes that he's the guy, then okay. Personally, though, he's not somebody that I see and I say he has to go to Milan, have to sign him at all costs. I would focus more in the defense and make that a priority to get another defender or two.
I will take Chiesa
I think
instead
you
of
need-
Rashford. But listen,
think you need that more.
somebody pointed this to me today. I was having my coffee at Villa Bat at my usual place, and then somebody said to me, he said, Ando, Rashford is very good for you guys. I said, how so? He said, you remember Pulisic? You fished Pulisic from Chelsea. Pulisic was marginalized on the Chelsea project, before you got him on the AC Milan. And look what Pulisic is becoming for you.
That doesn't just because
I
one
said,
player.
I said to him, I said,
just because one player in
said,
the Premier League.
Like a
Pulisic-
cookie cutter on.
Pulisic is Pulisic. Pulisic is not Rashford. Pulisic is smarter than Rashford. So Rashford is, to me, it's not this striking guy that I see put AC Milan over the top just because of what he did in the past with Manchester United.
I feel like Milan doesn't. I don't know. To me, it doesn't stand out that Milan have to sign a Marcus Rashford. That's me though. And like I said, I would put
Defenders.
priority
Defenders.
in the defense first, and then maybe if there's an opportunity, okay, but not this crazy thing. Where do we think Fratesi should go? I saw Sky just said 45 million is what Inter want.
No, it's
to
not
let
going to
him
get
go.
45 million.
Roma's been linked to him, but there's no way Roma's going to have the funds to buy
30
him.
is well paid. 30 million is way well paid.
You know what? It shows how bad Roma will run this summer. Lefebvre, the French guy in the midfield. Now he's going to Sunderland. Do you see this? After 6 months, he's going to the championship. I think they spent 25 mil, 30 mil on him. Such a disaster.
If Folorunsho seems like he's on his way to Firenze, maybe he can go to Napoli.
Who?
Fratesi.
Fratesi? No.
You think he'll
Napoli's
fit at
stuck
Napoli?
with the midfielder, Gaetano.
You
They're
think he'll-
stuck with
you think he'll fit at
midfielders.
Napoli?
Well, but you always need another
They got
midfielder.
Anguissa. They got
They're not in Europe though. That's the
they
only
got
thing.
3 of the top midfielders on the league, Napoli.
Yeah, 3, but you need somebody else.
He's gonna be struggling to
If
get
you're
playing
gonna-
time over there too.
Why did they get Folorunsho? Why would they get him? The guy was on the national team. He's a good midfielder. They got him for a reason. Maybe he doesn't get along with Conte.
Fratesi is better than him though.
I think Fratesi
Yeah.
is better than McTominay.
Yeah, Fratesi is better than Folorunsho too.
Well,
That's not even
McTominay's in
close.
form right
It's
now.
it's more about do you spend 45 million for
That's a
No,
lot of money.
45 million is too much.
That's a
45
lot.
million
In
seems-
January,
30 is well paid.
Yeah, I
Yeah, but
think 30 is
Inter's
good.
got to come with a number.
Even
Then
30 is too
I
much
think
money?
30 is good.
Inter's going to have a number. Ultimately, I think Inter should keep Fratesi, even if he's going to have this hard 6 months. Mkhitaryan is a certain age. Aslani's gone. He's got to take that reign. I think Zielinski can maybe move more into that
But
Agista
he's
role.
probably the one that's saying, I don't want to sit on the bench like I've been for another 6 months.
Yeah, but it's happened before. There's been a lot of...
You're
There's
just going
been
to
a-
force him to...
No, but the thing is, if there's no adequate offers that come in, ultimately, the player is still under contract. And I think with Inter, they can still have a conversation with
I
him.
mean, with all the competition that you have, right? You're going to be in what, 3-4 competition now? Huh?
There's space for
Let him
Yeah, I
play.
agree.
But
Start the
they
guy.
haven't
I agree.
been fair to him. For me, they haven't been fair to him.
But
Inzaghi,
start the guy.
the
You're
amount that
playing
we want
every
to
3
credit,
days.
the amount we want to credit him, I agree. But the way that he's managed the minutes of Fratesi, for me, is not to the quality of the player that Fratesi is.
That's
There's
right.
many times where I think he could be coming in the 65th minute. He could be the one that helps make the difference. and he doesn't come in. So I don't blame him for wanting to leave. Maybe him and Inzaghi don't get along.
Let
there's
him
plenty
start.
of other places
let
that
him
should-
start the game, and then you substitute him, and then the next time let somebody else start, and then he comes in.
How could Spalletti loves him. Spalletti will find a place for him basically anywhere. He
I'll
even
take him at
started
AC
him
Milan.
above
I'll take him at AC
Barella.
Milan.
He's the leading scorer in the national team.
Under Spalletti, you're
Well,
right.
he knows he'll be in trouble if he doesn't. If
Huh?
he doesn't, Fratesi knows he'll be in trouble if he doesn't get playing time soon. So he's got to push for a new club.
How much of a better deal would Fratesi have been for Juventus at 45 million than Douglas Luiz
Oh
at
my
55?
God.
Even-
Locatelli.
Why don't you
Even
make an
Ship
even
him-
exchange? You
ship
give
him
Douglas
to
Luiz
the
to
Premier
take
League.
him.
You know, Douglas is got to go back to the
Fratesi
Premier
actually
League.
probably fits the Premier League well. He's
Maybe
physical.
that's where he
He goes to
is
Liverpool,
comfortable.
Chiesa goes.
That'll be-
I don't know.
Goes
The
back to
Roma's the
Serie A.
one that they really want him to go to Roma, but I
I
just
can't
don't
for that
see a way
price.
that Roma's going to pay
No.
that fee. He would be a great addition.
What
to
about
that
on
team.
loan? What about on loan?
I don't think Inter is going to do it
No.
because, like he said, why would Inter do that unless he becomes a problem in the locker room, which I don't suspect.
What about his agent demands? I said, hey, listen, I wanted to leave. You know, if you demand it, plus I think he's from Rome, is he?
Mm-hmm.
Is he from
Yes.
Rome?
Yes.
Okay, so he grew up in the Roma youth, in the youth of
He
Rome.
grew up to Roma Youth, and then he went to Sassuolo Youth.
There you go. So I think makes
for 6
perfect
months?
sense.
6 months on loan?
Listen, you guys
obligation.
keep starting Mkhitaryan. He's a good player when he's healthy. Yesterday,
He didn't have
he
a good game. He
disappeared
didn't have a good
for more than half of the game.
They're
he
different,
disappeared until he got
profiles,
subbed.
though. They're not the same type of midfielder for me, Fratesi and Mkhitaryan. I just think that they could find a way
But
to
Marco,
loop
why
them back in.
is that the problem that him and Barella cannot play together because they pretty much have the
According
same?
to Inzaghi's style, probably.
I don't see.
probably-
I think they can play together. to
I agree
me.
with you. I
They can
agree.
play together. I don't know. Mike,
What was
do you
it?
think?
No, I think, regardless, I think he does have to leave Inter because he is a big part of that Zuri.
I agree.
And another player, you can't have another player that's not playing. Considering Chiesa hasn't getting playing time, you need these Italians that are starting for that Zuri to get playing time. Regardless if they have to leave, I think he'll turn any team he goes to much better. He's a starter for most teams.
I would force a move. If I was
He's
him,
great,
I would
for
force
sure.
a move in January and say, I have to go.
Yeah.
It's not acceptable the way that he's treated at Inter.
Yeah.
for
Imagine
me.
if
He's too
Gasperini.
good.
Imagine if
He's too
Gasperini
good.
gets Fratesi. The guy's gonna become a superstar. I mean, it was a superstar before he went from Sassuolo to Inter. I don't
He's
understand
got
why.
goals.
He was
could,
great for
He could be
Sassuolo,
like the
no?
Cup Miners replacement. You know, he's similar to Cup Miners in the way that he scores a lot of goals
He's
as a
better
midfielder.
than Cup Miners for me.
Think so?
Fratesi is better than Cup Miners.
He's less technical. That's the biggest thing.
He's
with
less technical.
Inzaghi.
Than who?
He's more
Fratesi
physical.
he
He's
should have
less
scored.
physical, but not technical.
Fratesi is more physical than
Yes.
technical, and if he was technical, he would have scored the 3-2 versus Milan yesterday.
I feel like Fratesi is more back to box. Cool Miners
It
more
took him
closer
way
to
too
the
long to
striker,
receive
too.
the ball and shoot the ball.
The last bit of transfer news that I saw, Juventus, they're still looking for their center forward. Who is it going to be? There's a lot of rumors even Vlahovic could leave in January. I don't think that he will, but there's a lot of rumors that they could let him go. Couple names I think came up now. Kolo Muani, Füllkrug, and Zirkzee.
Muani is
Okay.
a good. Muani, I've been reading about this guy and I've been watching a few things up and down. I think he's a great player.
PSG paid 95 million for him.
This guy here, AC Milan, I think he was looking for the service of this guy too, but I don't think
He's got a
they have
Luis
the money
Enrique-
to be able to sign this guy.
Luis Enrique doesn't like him at all at PSG.
And-
He's completely out of the plans.
Him, that's tough. And Füllkrug, he was from Dortmund, and then he ended up going to West Ham. And I've been watching a little West Ham this season, and he hasn't been performing. But then again, West Ham's not having a very good season.
Lopetegui, who almost went to Milan, is going to get sacked.
Yeah, he's
Or did he
very
get sacked?
No, I don't
Oh,
think
he's
it's
not
official.
close to getting
But-
sacked.
Not yet.
But they're playing horrible performances.
And they might get
so-
Fonseca. They
They
literally,
might
I
get
think them and
Fonseca.
Milan. You know, you ever seen the Mr. Bean movie where he's trying to copy his notes, like the guy next to him? I think
Yeah.
West Ham's copying the notes of Milan.
Listen, he
and
might
it's
be
going
freaking
wrong.
replacing Motta since you've been laughing a lot. I don't know if Motta's
think
got
so.
his place solidified over
I
there.
think it'd be just.
He
a
got
little
the,
shaky
you
over
know,
there.
yeah, I don't know.
Who do you want for Juventus? Who do you think fits the best?
I don't think Vlahovic is going anywhere in January.
Play along.
They
To get an additional striker.
yeah,
they have to need a. They need a
they
striker.
need an additional striker. I don't know.
Take
the-
Rashford. Take
I-
Rashford.
I don't know the guy that you're talking
Colomani?
about. Yeah, I don't.
He's-
I have seen him out there, not that much.
He's
to-
the one who
to-
missed
He
the
made the
one-on-one
miss
against
against
Dibu
Argentina.
Martinez, or
Yeah.
Dibu Martinez save. You know, the one right in front of the net that could have sent the game.
Hit him over here and he got a
extra time.
tattoo of it.
Okay,
Bingo.
okay.
Yeah.
He was from
Yeah.
Frankfurt. He signed for PSG for a lot of money, and he's not performing. Luis Enrique
He's
just doesn't
young,
like
though.
him. He's
right?
young.
Yeah, so
He starts
There's
for France, which
potential.
is weird. He starts games for Deschamps in France, but he can't start at PSG. Füllkrug is more a traditional center forward, though. He's the striker.
he's
for
a
Dortmund
big
last
target
year.
man. He holds up the ball kind of guy. Big
Mm-hmm.
German fella.
Honestly, Füllkrug probably is the profile that they would want, because you have to have a guy that will be able to accept being on the bench at
He's
times.
like a Milik. He's similar characteristics to
Yeah.
him.
Milik,
Zirkzee, after Zirkzee, of course.
what happened to Milik?
Milik is injured again. I heard the rumors that he's been injured again. He was trying to come back and then he got re-injured.
Who knows what this guy has?
He's
Never seen it.
milking it.
Milking it. Or maybe he's milking it with a lot of kielbasa.
We make a mistake at telling him these things, and then he uses it against us.
So Zirkzee is not coming?
Zirkzee, they're waiting to see if Manchester United opens to letting him
I
go
live
on
for
loan
this,
without
man.
obligation.
Yeah, I mean,
Obligation
he's going to
about
go.
Milik. What are you gonna
He's
do
not
with
playing
Milik?
over there. He's going to go. Maybe that's with Mota. Maybe you can use him.
Zirkzee is definitely the guy. If you could get Zirkzee,
You're going to win everything.
no. I
The supercoppa too, even though it's one.
mean, no. I mean, for Mota's system, he's probably the best one that you got to get.
Yeah,
and from
chemistry-wise.
Zirkzee, after you having a disaster of 6 months,
Yeah.
the only thing you want to do is probably go back to the coach who got the most out
Yeah,
of you.
of course.
And you're going to
Of
be
course.
playing right behind the Vlahovic, this guy?
I could see them play together, but I think there's going to be a lot of games where Zirkzee starts over Vlahovic.
Well, that's how he was playing at Bologna, right? It was a one striker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a 9.5.
False
False
and
Yeah,
whatever.
That'll be
He likes
interesting.
Mota likes a striker that could be involved in the play. It opens up space, and the truth is, Vlahovic. I know
Vlahovic
he's
isn't
paid a
that.
lot of money, 70 million, but he's not.
He's
He's
not
not that striker. He's not. He's more of like an Erling Haaland, who's good being in the right place, scoring goals, but he's not when he's not scoring, he's not really contributing to the
like
team besides
Lautaro.
trying to press.
Like unlike Lautaro.
Unlike Lautaro.
Yes.
Unlike yes.
Lautaro, even though if he doesn't score sometimes, he still contributes to the team regardless.
I agree.
No, I don't think you can give up on Vlahovic in January. In June, then you'll see what happens. But he's gonna stay.
I agree with that. Anything else, guys?
It can be another. I mean, if we
We're
keep
talking
it-
about Juventus.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
let's go with that. Yeah, go ahead, man.
This Di Gregorio. That he was totally out of position
Oh boy.
on that goal with that Gatti, the one that went in. What the hell you doing in the middle of the? You should be on the first post.
He's getting ready to control the ball.
Yeah,
He wants a
it's
pass
freaking.
back.
He's in the middle, 20 yards from the goal. That's the own goal by Gatti. What do you think about Di Gregorio? I don't know. I'm starting to have
Really?
doubts.
You
lost-
can fault him. You
After-
cannot
He
fault
lost his
him. It was a
spot last
deflection,
podcast. What do you
Gaetano.
It
have?
was a
Number two
deflection.
for
He
you.
was out of
He
play.
was cheating. He was cheating.
Yeah. He lost his spot from second to third.
This
Di
is
Gregorio.
his goal is here. This
Right.
is where he's go. He's here. He's over here. What are you doing here? You're supposed to be here.
He anticipated
It's
he anticipated the cross that was
Yeah.
coming. The
Yeah,
only
right.
bad things that happened it was that the guy
I mean,
deflected.
every look, we say Summer
made a
makes a mistake.
mistake.
Magnan makes a
Made a
mistake.
mistake.
Di Gregorio, I mean, you can't really. I don't think you could judge off of that.
Donnarumma, forget
or you,
about it.
or are you saying there's more things that you don't like about Di Gregorio besides that?
Yeah, I'm not convinced.
Really?
I know.
Gaetano Carnesecchi or Di Gregorio?
Oh my God. That's not even close.
Oh,
Second
dry
half.
meat
Oh,
over
yeah.
the Gregorio.
Dry
Trying to
meat.
lead over.
I mean,
Over
when you
spilled
go
milk.
from Chesney
Right.
to Di Gregorio, I think Chesney was, he was,
Chesney was
Chesney
better.
was good.
yeah, he was very good.
Chesney-
But yeah, if you
Chesney-
go,
But
I
Di
would get Carnesecchi.
Really? I think
Oh,
Di
yeah.
Gregorio is good. He has those
Yeah.
moments of lapses. I get what you're saying.
can make
but
a
he's not
phone call
bad
for you
keeper.
if you
I still
want.
think it's Juventus it's like the least of the problems that Juventus has right now.
But that cost them the game.
It's true.
You're never gonna forget that. You're
That
holding that
cost them
grudge
the
forever.
game.
Oh,
I'm
look
not
at him. You
disagreeing.
still thinking about it? Another sole loser. Yo, look at this. Yo, look at them. I want to take a picture of them.
That's your two
The
for
two
one.
sole losers get 2 for 1. Oh, my God. Oh, I love that,
When it's on
man.
this side, right?
Hold
Alpha?
on. Hold on.
What are you doing?
I want to give them an AC Milan panettone just in between the two of them and then get a picture of them.
We'll take a picture
that will be
after.
done after the podcast, okay? But
Anything
guys,
else?
Hey, listen.
Any other news?
The only thing that I wanted to say.
You want Fonseca back or no?
No. I mean, what's done is
making
done. I
sure.
love
What's done is
Fonseca.
done.
I will have 20 beers with Fonseca at any time,
20
even though I don't drink beers.
I'll pick you up.
But
How about a
makes a lot of
margarita?
That's all you could have with Fonseca.
let's keep going like that because AC Milan is on a very good trajectory and we're gonna do well.
Go to the top.
We're gonna qualify top 8 for the Champions, so we don't
Top
need
8.
the addition. Yeah, we're gonna do
Is
it.
the Scudetto race still open for Milan?
I will not say that.
No.
Because last time you said it was closed. Is it open now?
I will say maybe second place still open.
Oh, it's still open.
Yes, second place. Yes.
Second place.
What happened in the derby? I missed. I didn't watch Roma Lazio. I know what happened, but
Oh my god.
Oh,
the
Roma
result.
Surprised.
outclassed
I
Lazio
was
on
surprised.
every single, from the beginning
Lazio
to the
looked
end.
bad.
Ranieri,
They did nothing.
took him to
Roma
school.
really gave it to them like a spanking. It was not just a very fought game and this and that. No, it was Roma controlling the game.
Wow.
And it could have been even worse, the results.
I'm
But
surprised, though.
Roma, I was surprised. I put my money on the Lazio
Yeah, I
before
thought
even the
Lazio
game
were gonna
started.
take it.
No,
Man,
really?
then when I
Yeah.
saw,
But Foco asked me. I told him put Roma.
oh my God,
No,
Roma
that was-
was
Lazio
all
played bad.
over the
No, but
places.
they were. I think if you asked a month ago, I would have bet on Lazio, for example. But the way that Roma's been growing, and even Lazio's been struggling in the last couple of games, I'm not surprised that I expected Roma to win.
I'm surprised more of the performance.
The
They
domination.
shut down Lazio,
They
and
did.
Lazio didn't look like their same old Lazio. And I was like, wow, Ranieri really has a real grip on this team. And that emotional connection of that derby, those derbies are always different. So it seems like that kind of overpowered it. But from the first minute, Roma were pressing. They didn't let Lazio do anything. So they kind of set the tone on early, and Lazio were kind of on the back foot. So once they conceded that goal, it was just trying to climb a mountain, which would never look like they were going to come back from.
Ranieri's 100%.
And also,
Derbies.
the big question mark was, Pellegrini's starting. Why is Pellegrini starting? Well, here's why.
Great
He scored an
goal.
unbelievable goal. And Ranieri, like you said, the emotional,
Connection he has with him.
energy that you need to have during a derby. You're at home. I watched something on social media where a journalist was asking, would you rather win a Scudetto?
or the derby.
No, but besides the derby, but like if you had to lose 10 derbies, but ultimately you'll win the Scudetto, would you do it? And everyone would say, no. The derby, I need to win the derby. I don't care about the
Is
Scudetto.
this the fans?
Fans. So that just shows you,
It's
even
big.
even to win silverware doesn't mean anything if you can't beat your crosstown rival.
Exactly
I
the
think-
same
I
thing
think-
with
I
us. We
think
don't
if-
care about
Well, for you,
silverware.
I know.
I think if you actually asked a Roma fan though, they'll take losing 2 derbies.
Yeah, they spoke about it.
Marco, you know what the
Come on.
funny part?
If you had a Roma fan and a Lazio fan, you said, guys, you're gonna lose to your rival, but you can win the Scudetto. You don't think they'll take the Scudetto?
Yeah,
I mean, maybe they cut out all the people that said, yes, let's win a Scudetto. So I don't know.
That's what it sounds like.
Pete,
What do you
funniest part, Gaetano, was Pellegrini coming out of the team. He just pointed to the Roma
Crest.
The badge.
This is what the badge, and then and everybody was a big standing ovation because it was taken out by
The
by his coach.
Scudetto comes once every 20 years.
But it was
I mean,
rumored
you
even
need
to
a
be traded.
Scudetto.
I mean, at the same time, look what's going on. In one day, one game, it changes all the rumors that are going on. From being traded, now all of a sudden, Pellegrini is at the center of the project of Roma. The guy's not going to leave Roma in the
I don't
next
know
10
if
years.
that's
And something about Ranieri, I liked Salamakers. We saw them this summer, and I liked it. He was wide. He was beating his man all the time and crossing the ball. That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah.
It's very simple. You stay wide, you beat your man, you cross the ball. And I am really surprised that Ranieri made him start, and the kid came through.
We're going to take him back on AC Milan.
he
We're
came
taking
through.
him back.
I just want
we do,
one,
we do,
one
we
point.
do.
I read something from the guy James Horncastle. Really, really cool piece, and he wrote that Ranieri is like Marcus Aurelius and how relevant he is even throughout all the ages. How funny it is that he actually coached Baroni in 1991, and Ranieri's still able to do it. So it's more so to say, no matter what,
You coached him as a player? As a player?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Ranieri ball can win whether it's 1990 or 2025.
Everybody laughed at I
Timeless.
remember when we suggested here, we said Ranieri is the obvious coach for Roma.
Gaetano suggested.
Yeah, you brought it, and we all agreed. We all said, yeah, obviously. The comments we were killing us, saying, oh, come on, you're going back. There's an aspect of football besides the tactics the feeling, the thing that can't be calculated that Ranieri brings to Roma. And I think Roma's got a really smart project. They're taking your CEO, Antonello, right? Is it Antonello? He's going to be the CEO of Roma. We just heard a few minutes ago. I think that he is this piece to Roma that understands the club so much that he's not going to let business people put their implications on the club, meaning he has Roma at his heart first and foremost. So the fact that he's going to transition to being a director is something that's really important. And I would even say a team like Juventus lacks a guy like Ranieri at the club that only wants the best for Roma first and foremost, and then the rest of the business decisions could come. So Roma, from everything looking really bleak a few months ago, I think things are up for them.
But don't you get Giuntoli, whatever?
Yeah, but he's not Juventus.
I mean, it's not Juventus. What are you talking about?
You need like a default.
Oh, you are saying he didn't grow up as a Juventus fan.
Bleeding the team, understanding
Fino alla fine. He doesn't understand fino alla fine.
Everything.
Okay.
It's something that you only get if you're part of the club. Zanetti gets it for Inter. Maldini got it for Milan. Ranieri gets it for Roma.
Cassano has for Inter.
I don't think so.
He does. He's an Inter fan.
I don't think so. Well, he's an Inter fan, but Cassano really doesn't give a crap about Inter.
I mentioned Cassano. Your
I
friend
love
Cassano.
Yeah, what's the problem with Cassano?
Does he still have a problem with Ibra?
No. Cassano never had a problem with Ibra.
No?
I mean,
He's
with
a lawyer.
Leao.
He's a lawyer.
With Leao. With Leao,
What do you say
you
about
mean?
Ibra? I don't remember.
Ah, come on.
He never had a problem with Ibra. They're best
He had
friends.
some hard
I love Cassano. When?
Oh, boy. Yeah, let's close it up.
Cassano does talk a
Yeah, he
lot.
said he's been trash talking Leao because he doesn't believe that he's a guy that can do it day in day out. Well,
I don't see anything.
no, he just came up with something else about Leao.
He
but,
actually said there's no blame to Ibra on what's happening at Milan. When he's talking about Fonseca, he blamed Furlani.
All my Saudi friends, you left.
Maybe I.
Just get it, okay? And if you
This was a while ago.
actually, all of that for you.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. Furlani grew up a Milan fan.
Eh,
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
said.
It was Leao.
yeah, because
Yeah,
he doesn't.
it was
He said, "Ti fa 2 o 3 sgroppate, and then it's over right there."
He also
Yeah.
says Haaland is not a footballer. So there's
And-
that.
You know
He doesn't
why?
like anybody.
You know what's behind this
He only
stuff
likes
here?
he only likes his friends. His
Be-
friends are the ones that he's not going to
Because-
criticize.
No, but listen, I can see why he's saying this. Because he said that those guys that do not play for the team, they play for themselves. It's like me, myself, and I. Give me
Sounds
the
like
ball
him.
and that's it. When I lose the ball, it's not my problem.
Sounds like him.
Who?
They're waiting. Mail and ballot.
All right, thank you guys for watching. We'll
All
talk
right,
to you soon.
guys.
Ciao, guys.